Hey guys, my name is Matt Massion, and today we're doing a quick run-through test and review of the CVW Swift Z. So it's these two devices right here. So basically what the system is a wireless HDMI video transmission system and a monitor in the same device. So it's really cool that they've managed to squeeze everything into these two products. I've never seen anything like this, so when they actually contacted me and asked if I'd be willing to review it, I said absolutely, because I've actually used their older products and I really enjoyed it, so I knew that this would be a cool product, so I said yes, and I'm going to be sharing some of my insights and my experience using this product with you guys today. So, as I mentioned, this system is not like something I've actually used before or seen before. They've managed to squeeze an HDMI video transmission system and a monitor into one device. So this entire device right here has the aerials, as you can see here, which transmits HDMI, and it basically transmits HDMI from your camera to a monitor. So this is great for if you're a director and a producer and you're working on set and you want to monitor what's happening on your camera, on your primary camera, you can do that as well. And it also, because it's HDMI, it transmits audio as well, which is really cool. So if I'm recording audio on this camera, we can plug a set of headphones or set of speakers if it's far enough and listen to and watch what's happening here. What it basically does is it just trims down the bulk. When you have an HDMI transmitter and a monitor attached to a rig, it becomes quite hectic and quite complicated and over the top. But I like this because literally this is kind of how we can just do any shoot from now on. Like, we have a monitor attached to a camera. The monitor is transmitting HDMI, which is great for a director. You don't have to use that feature. You can just use it as a monitor on its own. But it's just nice that we have that feature just on top of it. And the monitors are great, which is really cool. So to do any shoot, all we have to do is plug in an HDMI cable into the unit and into the camera, plug in a battery and turn them both on, and they're good to go. So now we're getting a wireless video transmission. There's nothing in between here. You'll see in a bit, it transmits up to 250 meters. We'll talk about that in a sec. You can also use the screen on its own. So you don't have to use the transmission system if you don't want. So if you are on a set where there are two cameras and you want to use two screens, two monitors on both of those cameras, you can do that. You don't have to worry about them transmitting to each other. Can operate as a monitor and a monitor on its own, which I think is a nice feature if you're trying to do something specific, and you want your operators to have their own monitors. It's got very low latency, 70 milliseconds, which makes it perfect for general directing and for monitoring any footage. It's also great for transmitting footage from from the monitor to a bigger screen if you're trying to do a projection. We've used this on a live stream. What I wouldn't want to do is run the audio through this system for the live stream, because what it does is the system has a little bit of delay on it, 70 milliseconds, but when you're looking at audio and video syncing up, you can kind of tell that there's a bit of an issue there, especially if you have multiple cameras. So I'd recommend running your audio directly into your live streaming system, so straight into your Blackmagic Atom or whatever streaming system you're using, instead of through the system, and then just syncing those two up in your software of choice. I don't know if you can see on here, but on the actual on the back of the monitor, there's space for 2 battery slots, which is really cool for long shoot. You can take this battery and you can plug it in, and now you have 2 big ass batteries powering your monitor for a long time. And the nice thing about it is that they're actually hot swappable. So you can one out when it gets low, and it'll swap to the other battery and power the device with the other battery. I just want to chat about the amount of LUTs. So this is something that I think is maybe a little bit overkill, but it's a nice to have. It's really nice to have. You can store up to 50 LUTs in both of these devices. So your camera operator and the person who's actually filming can monitor with their LUTs. They can actually see what they're doing. It also has lots of other monitoring features. You can check zebra, there's focus peaking, there's all sorts of awesome features built into both of these monitors. So again, operator and director have full control. So these monitors are able to transmit 1080p HDMI and audio. So it's video and audio across up to 250 meters, which is ridiculous. We're going to show you some connection tests now where I took a walk from the starting point all the way across our building, all the way to the other side. And you can see this is like in a metropolitan, we're in Johannesburg, we're in a metropolitan area with lots of radio frequency distractions, and there's buildings all around us basically. So it's not necessarily the ideal conditions for the test to qualify for 250 meters. I think it's more like real world in the sense of, you're going to be shooting in these conditions anyway, so let's test it in these conditions. So try and maintain some sort of line of sight if you can. I'm quite sure these would work quite fine through glass or through, that kind of stuff, but through hard brick, that's not what they're made for. Next thing to touch on is the size of these units. They're tiny. I mean, they're 5.5 inches screen across, which is plenty for most situations. And the nice thing about it is that both of these units have HDMI input and HDMI output, as well as audio monitoring outputs. And they have DC input, so you can run both of these devices from the wall, like from your standard, I say the wall, I don't know what it's called, but you can power these from the wall, that's fine. The reason I mentioned the HDMI output on the receiver is because you can connect this to a TV screen, you could connect this to a projector, you could connect this to anything you want, and you can transmit video wirelessly. So it's perfect for if you're doing a big event and you want to broadcast the footage that you're shooting up onto a big screen. You know, there's so many awesome opportunities with this system. And I really like that they put HDMI input and output on both of these devices, because it just makes it so much more flexible. And then lastly, I want to just touch on the brightness of these screens. So it's maybe not an ideal scenario right now, but it's also kind of real world, and that's kind of what we want to go for with this review. Real world conditions, you don't really always have the time to put up a screen shade or anything like that. So these, what I've found and what I can see right now looking at these screens and from the use we've had with them, is that they work really well in bright light. So, you know, if you're shooting outdoors, you can use these. They're really good. You can see lots of detail in the shots. You can see if it's sharp, and you can see zebras, and it's a really great monitoring tool. So guys, that is the Swift Z. We've been using this for the past 4 or 5 months now. We did a film shoot on the beach with this. It was amazing. We've done live stream events with this. We've done quite a bit with these devices, and I've really kind of used them and put them through their paces. I've really enjoyed working with these devices, and my overall opinion of these is that they're really good products. I really think it's amazing what they've done here. The fact that they've managed to fit everything into such a small unit with fans built in. I mean, I didn't even mention that there's a fan built in to cool it down. It's like they've really done a great job of just condensing everything to such a simple and easy to use system. I mean, there's one cable connecting. There's no other cables, there's no other nonsense. I think that's what I love about these products, and that's what we love at Luxembourg. We like to do stuff simply and efficiently. These products have just like kind of formed such a great integral part of our workflow. So I really love these products, guys. Go check out CVW-Technology on Instagram. We'll put a little thingy somewhere here, so you can go check them out and have a look at this. They've also got some other cool products. I reviewed a Swift 800 of theirs. It's another HDMI transmitter, and you can check my profile and find that one as well. But yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed that review, and yeah, until next time, peace.